Welcome to Courageous Conviction. Remember that Jeff and I record each Saturday 5 episodes. So please hit the like button, subscribe so you catch all 5 episodes. We usually start out with one theme or topic. We have to go down a lot of rabbit holes to really understand it. Some things are more sensitive than others right now, what's going on in the world. So hit the like button, subscribe, and let's jump into this video.
More and more of this narrative, it pulls away from any deity ever existing in the native cultures, right? It was all ancestral worship. It wasn't for their gods.
Yeah.
Hey, there is a movement, a collaborative effort. These secret combinations have power. They have the power right now of the world. They are in these world
power, taking them
organizations.
Down. That's why anybody against, Trump, I just don't understand that because, and
it's because they watch the wrong news, Jeff.
Even
they're watching NBC, CNBC, they're watching Fox News too. They think that they've got, hey, I'm a conservative watching Fox.
No,
Guys, Fox is part of the whole game. That's just the limit.
They got bought out a long time ago.
Yeah. So they think that they do.
And the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, they're all in it together.
They're
all part of, so take them all down.
Well, there's some good people in there. I would stand for.
There's a bunch of them.
I stand behind her. There's some people that Matt Gaetz. There's some people out there that are actually standing up and putting their life on the line. Martin Green's been threatened.
Well, even Kennedy and the Democratic Party. I like that guy.
I like him too, and he has nothing to do with what
because they realize deep state for what it is. The whole point is taking down the deep state. Taking down the career politics.
We need a cleansing.
We can't have lobbyists like we do. We can't have career politicians like we do.
Well, look, hey, Nancy Pelosi.
She's got to be taken down.
Hold on. Was it about 2 weeks ago or something? I was talking about Nancy Pelosi. I was talking about she had a value. Her worth was $7 million, something like that.
Yeah.
She took that $7 million not too long ago and turned it into 100 and something million. I just saw the report yesterday too. It was this week. I was listening to it.
It's insider trading.
All insider trading. And right now, Sue, what people need to look out for is you've got Bezos, you've got Zuckerberg, and I can go down the line of these wealthy men. So far, Elon Musk hasn't done anything, but they're selling millions of shares of their own companies.
Yeah,
what's coming?
I've likely Elon Musk, but I'm not sure I completely trust him. But who knows?
Well, you know what? We never trust the arm of the flesh, but right now. He is the only one. He and Trump are the only two that are putting their life and their money on the line to go out there and defend freedom and free agency in that First Amendment.
And we like Twitter or X,
And I love the fact Elon supports Dogecoin because it's the token of the people.
I've got some Dogecoin.
Yeah. Mine, if my teams hit, they get about $3,000. Hey, they did they started trading last week. I'm just going to kind of say this real quick. This is something for people out there that, this is not financial advice, but I coached him into trading. And so I kind of encourage them to learn how to trade, not just trading like on the stock market, but more so crypto, right? Because they can access Binance and everything else. So they can get into these bots that are really kind of set up nicely. And they started trading. And I walked them through it. Dude, we made $4,000 last week.
Awesome.
We made $4,000 last week. We made $1,000 so far this week, but the market, it made that correction, and so everything's just in limbo. But once it goes back up again, they're going to bing off another $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get an uptick of Bitcoin goes back up $2,000-$3,000, they're going to ting off another $4,000 in trading. They're going down with the market, buying, going back up, selling, going back down, buying, and then they stay with it as it's growing. Right. The only mistake I made to him was I told him to sell Solana and do the same thing, and Solana never went back down. It's just going to the moon, man. And they bought in at that at 21. It's like 180 right now, all in a month. Right.
Wow.
Point being, good people are coming, Jeff. Yes, but those people think very blue. They think very socialist. And we as Americans, look, I'm not anti-immigration. Look, my wife is from Nicaragua. I have 2 kids that are Latin.
Yeah. Just like me.
Yeah, and look, I love your wife dearly too. You guys are great friends of ours.
We speak Spanish at home. We speak Spanish on the street. We've had our conversations about that.
I just don't like to see
immigration the right way. I don't want to see bad people coming over the border.
I just saw my little town Brownout. And it was a
Yeah.
beautiful, nice little town. And they browned out, and now it's crime. People get shot, and I hate to say that, but it happened. And it happened in the last 20 years. The hotels, the gas stations, you could go in there in a hotel. Certain groups come in and buy up the hotels, and they collaborate on price setting. Right?
Yeah, I don't like the term brownout too much. I guess because if you go to like El Salvador, they're all white. They're just Spanish speaking white people. So it's not about
Salvador.
color.
White.
El Salvador,
I spent a lot of time in El Salvador. They're regular Latins.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are. I've spent. You know how much time I spent in El Salvador studying those ruins?
El Salvador's got a ton of white people. They look like they're Americans. And especially when you go over the border.
Disagree wholeheartedly. I spent a lot of time down there.
Yeah. Okay.
There are white people though. A lot of white people is in southern Brazil,
the whole
Argentina.
Point is that for me, just
that's an idea of the socialist
bad immigration. Is not about color. It's just bad people coming over. And bad people coming over. It doesn't matter. I've seen white Spanish speaking people that were not good people.
Yeah, but see, Jeff, the reason I'm saying that is because there's a collaborative effort right now to eliminate whiteness, if you will, from America. And so, unfortunately, the whiteness represents showing up to work on time, setting goals, having standards. That's whiteness, and that's defined by their own definition, right? There's books out there. So when you're talking about browning out, you're talking about people that aren't used to showing up on time. Look, in Latin America, I would show up to a meeting. I would show up to the meeting 15 minutes early, and I'd wait an hour for everybody else to show up, right? That was just typical. And I quit going on time. I have a hard time now getting to meetings on time because there I would sit there wasting my time. So now I go to meetings, I'm always 15 minutes late.
So we, whatever. I mean, I don't want to, for me, I'm not gonna use that, that language because I think it can be.
Well, I'm just talking the truth, Jeff. That's the whole, but that's what they're calling it. It's called the Great Brownout, and that's what it's called.
So
and I'm just saying.
I don't have to agree with it. I just don't. But we agree on the same thing there that bad immigration is bad immigration, and people coming over is the wrong way is destroying our country.
It destroys any country. No borders, no country.
Yeah,
you don't have a country without borders.
They're doing the same thing in Europe. The whole thing is to change the demographic.
Yeah,
and
how well is the European Union holding up?
No,
we're gonna fall apart.
It's bad. So, it's about time to check out. I am glad that we had this conversation. I would like to see and maybe even study more about what it was like. 18,000 years ago when Christ had already come and gone from the Americas and the way society was back then.
18,000 years ago?
Or 1,800 years ago is what I meant.
I knew what you meant. I just want to make sure.
Good clarification. But you know what I mean. So, but yeah, I needed to be clarified on that one.
Yeah, we're gonna predate the Clovis people now.
Yeah, but we have a lot of things to look forward. There's a lot of great people here, still. And I think that's the difference right now. There's some really bad actors. We have a really terrible government. And we have a lot of misled people that think that being peaceful is being passive. And it's going to take us down to where we will have to fight and be aggressive, which we would like to be able to avoid. Right now, we have the chance to vote on things that could change or can prevent things that are going down the wrong way right now. And there's a lot of people that want to keep that from happening. And I think that we have the media here in the U.S. and across the world that would like to continue, this narrative that the world is racist and that everybody's a victim. And the only thing that we can possibly do to make things right is to, as you say, take away the whiteness. But
that's not me, Jeff. This is what the terminology they're using right now. This is the whole woke agenda, right? I'm just saying it back, right? I'm just saying how they're saying it.
Yeah, well, it's accusational. The thing is that I know a lot of people that don't.
I agree 100%.
That are Trump voters, so it's.
I agree 100%. No, I know that. I'm talking about the ideology that comes with it. That's being referred to about it.
But if we give that credit, if we're saying that's what they're calling it and that's what we're calling it, then all of a sudden it becomes that. So for me, it's just like, I'm looking at the brown people and the black people that I know that don't stand for they stand for the same things that we do, So I think that we need to be united as members of the church, as
I think
God's
you're missing my
children.
point, though, my friend.
Of course I am.
I'm just
The only reason
referring.
I'm saying that is that everybody else is going to miss that point too, So
Okay, well, so then let me clarify. When we're talking about these things, we talk the truth on this channel. I'm not going to fluff anything up here. This is what the terminology is called. This is what the phasing out is called.
that's
I'm
what
just stating
the woke people are calling it that.
what the wokeness is calling all this, right? This is what
So
this is, what the agenda
why do
is.
we need to use their language?
I'm not. Well, what am I going to do? Fluff it up and lie about what they're saying? That's
Well,
what
you're
they're calling it,
supporting
right?
it.
Huh?
It's supportive.
No, it's not supportive at all.
Okay.
Not supportive. I'm just stating a fact. It's like if I'm going to go to the doctor, I don't like cancer, but Jeff, you got cancer, and I'm your doctor. I got to tell you, you got cancer.
Right. Look, I liked it when Trump came out and said that disease came from China, that it was a Chinese disease. Talking about COVID.
Yeah, people said it was racism.
Yeah, well, so and that was appropriate.
He was
right?
calling the fact out, right?
Yeah.
And all I'm doing is stating what they're calling these phases, just like the 2030 agenda. You'll own nothing and be happy, right? These are all these little catchphrases, and it's not just the whole woke agenda that's catching this. It's who's behind this. And it's the World Economic Forum. These are their plans, and this is called the brownout phase of America. And that's what I'm referring to as the plan from the World Economic Forum, right? So people have to understand that I'm going to refer to the facts how they are, whether they like them or don't like them. That's the facts, and that's just what they're calling it, right?
Well,
I'm not saying, look, my wife is as black as can be. So anybody can try to throw something at me, even you right now. You have to step back because my wife is very, very dark, right? Yeah. So, I mean, you're gonna have to. You, if anybody, should know where I'm coming from.
But see, the thing is, I know you're not racist. All I'm saying is that when we talk about browning out and whiting out, I don't, I don't agree with that terminology. I'm not going to. I think it's inappropriate, and so I'm calling it out. So, but the whole point is,
you call it out. I'm still gonna state the facts, though.
Yeah, it's all right. Well, the facts you can call facts, whatever you want, but it doesn't mean that they are facts. The point is that
Jeff, how are you arguing with this dang thing? How are you going to argue that this is what they're calling it, and I'm referring to the people calling it this, and that's the problem. And we're talking about patriotism, where it comes from, right? I'm just referring to that.
We can agree to disagree on that.
We'll disagree. Yeah, and I'm going to call the facts out all the time.
Yeah,
and that's what we need to do more of.
All right.
Call the facts out, right? So, courageous conviction. Don't be afraid to stand up for what's right. See you in the next video.